Brothers, what's going on everybody? It's Civil here and we're back today with another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest mistakes that you're making every single weekend league that are causing you to lose more games every single weekend. As always guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys go right now and hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon. We're on the road to 1,000. I think we're going to hit it within the next week or so. We are growing like crazy. I love all the support you guys are giving me. And as always, let's get into the usual question of the day. So in the last video, I asked you guys, if you guys had to play one Madden for the rest of your life, what would it be? And honestly, I got quite a few different answers on that. A lot of people said, some people said this Madden because it's the most success they've had, the most fun they've had because of all the abilities. Some old heads said the older Maddens. And honestly, I felt like it should be Madden 20 just because it is the one that I've had the most success in. You know, like I said, I won the Tampa Bay Bucs Club Championship in this Madden, so... You know, self-plug, I gotta say it, it's this Madden. Now, this video's question of the day is gonna be a little bit different. You know, we've been talking about a lot of Madden recently in the question of the days, but this one I'm gonna go directly at the NFL. And my question for you guys is, if you could have one player back, your team either lost in free agency or through a trade, who would it be? Alright, mine, being a Bucs fan, we recently lost him. It's gonna be my guy, Jameis Winston, crab legs. Obviously, I understand losing him. Getting Brady was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the Buccaneers organization. It's something that's going to bring them the kind of clout that they just don't get beforehand. But I will say I was a big fan of Jameis, and it's a little bit sad to see him go over to the Saints. We'll see if it works out for the Bucs, and hopefully it does, where Brady does very well. And I do hope Winston does a very good job over the Saints, and if he ever ends up taking that starting role over there for whatever reason. Or it might end up really backfiring for the Bucs, where Brady doesn't work out, and we see Winston become a superstar. I really couldn't tell you. I have no idea what's going to happen. Make sure you guys go in the comment section right now and leave a comment. Let me know that. And while you're down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon. Let's join the boys. Let's get to 1,000. Let's do this. And after that, it's going to be the road to 5K, baby. So let's go. I'm super excited. And let's get into the video. So as I throw my commentary over some live, raw, skills trainer gauntlet gameplay, the first thing we're going to be talking about is to use your abilities wisely. Okay guys, you guys are playing weekend league, which means you are able to get up to 9 abilities on each side of the ball and up to 12 if you are using 99 overalls, which means each player is able to get 4 abilities. Now you gotta have to know what you're doing with each ability. You need to have, when you select these abilities, you need to have a goal with each of these abilities. You need to have a purpose with each of these abilities. I've seen people with dashing deadeye who aren't using escape artists. I've seen people using escape artists who aren't using dashing deadeye or sideline deadeye or roaming deadeye, and they're overthrowing a lot of balls as they're out in the pocket. And a lot of people who are using escape artists and dashing deadeye who aren't even rolling out. You guys need to be using your abilities to the fullest extent. You guys need to be thinking about these. Make sure a really good way to do this is to watch some of these pro tournaments, watch my live streams even, which are linked in the description below, self-plug, and notice what people are really doing with these abilities. Notice that you might have lumberjack on your defense. No one has lumberjack. I'm sorry. No one has. There's a lot of abilities that people are using that no one has for good reason. And notice how some of these people, like myself, are using these abilities. There's so much you can learn. And I feel like there's so much wasted potential that a lot of people are just doing because they don't know how to use their abilities properly. You know, these X factors, people aren't doing the right things with them, and it's hurting you so much because these abilities are what allows people to win games. No matter how good I am, if I have no abilities and I'm playing someone with the best abilities and who knows how to use them, and even if they're not very good at the game, we are gonna have a hell game, and there's a good chance they're going to win just due to the fact that this game is ran by abilities. Alright guys, so that's gonna be number 1. Make sure you guys use your abilities to their fullest extent. Number 2, fellas, is gonna be one that you guys really don't want to hear, and that's gonna be when you're on defense, quit over adjusting. Okay, I know a lot of you guys hear adjustments from more of the competitive players, more of the competitive community, and they say that's where a lot of the skill gap is, and there is, but there's also a skill gap to make sure you don't over adjust. I see people making crazy adjustments, and it's almost as if you're adjusting just to adjust and not really thinking about what you're doing. So next time you're on defense and you catch yourself making a lot of these adjustments, right, I want you to stop and ask yourself, do I actually know what I'm doing right now, or am I just making adjustments just to be able to say that I'm making adjustments? Because that is one of the biggest traps that you will fall into while playing Madden, especially on defense when you're trying to be more competitive, is just making these adjustments that really just don't make a whole lot of sense on the field. You have all these hook zones, you have all these cross mans, and honestly you start overthinking it. And I've done a lot of philosophies in my past videos in how I like to play defense, especially on weekend league, to not overcomplicate things and not do really dumb stuff. So once again guys, number 2 is just to stop over adjusting. I see this so much in weekend league. Number 3 is going to be one that you guys really don't want to hear, and it's going to be a big reason why I feel like you guys are the reasons you're losing most of your guys' games, and that's going to be to stop throwing awful turnovers. Now, you have to look yourself in the mirror and kind of realize and kind of think back on some of the games that you've lost and start realizing, wow, yes, they may have been spamming stretch the entire game. Yes, they may have gotten 4 ag catches all game. Yes, you may have fumbled 3 times, but there's a good chance, and I'm willing to bet, as long as you're passing the ball, there's a good chance that you threw a couple very bad turnovers, and it happens to the best of us. But this is where a lot of these games are won and lost, because a lot of these games, they end up being without any turnovers or anything, crazy happening in the game, usually 1 to 2 possession games, which that means once you turn the ball over on one bad throw, on one stupid read, on one, hey, screw it, let me just chuck this ball up, that's a lot of times that you're going to be throwing the ball, or that's a lot of times that it's going to be turnovers, and that's really how these games stay close. And once it's a close game, anything can happen. You have a lot of very close games due to the fact of turnovers. Think of it, no different than NFL, where if you have one team that's way better than another team, but the good team, their running back fumbles 3 times, or the quarterback has a really bad day and he throws 2 or 3 picks that are just totally uncharacteristic, that game, regardless of how big the actual skill difference is in those 2 teams, that game is now a good, close game because of the fact that there was turnovers involved, okay? Think about this. If you receive the ball to begin the game and you throw a pick, it's almost as if they now receive the ball to begin the game and they're getting ball at half. That is a huge swing in possessions, and that's a huge swing in points as well if they're able to get points on that opening drive that you threw the pick to them on. Alright guys, so you need to stop with these terrible turnovers, whether it be that or whether it's even just spinning into hit sticks and spinning into enforcers, juking, all that stuff, guys. You have to cut it out. I promise you, it is one of the biggest things to be able to win more games in competitive Madden. Number 4 on the list is one that I might come across as sounding a little cocky on, but honestly, I'm going to be very, very upfront with you guys when I say this, so please don't take it the wrong way, but stop overestimating your opponents. And what I mean by this is that you're not playing a Madden Pro, you're not playing some football genius, some X and O's guru, you know what I'm saying? You guys gotta remember that these dudes are not the best players in the world, and honestly, they're not. Most of them aren't even the top half in the world in the level of their skill. So what I mean by that is, guys, quit trying to make all these crazy adjustments thinking that you ran this, so now they're gonna know this, or whatever, guys. Start just realizing, just play your game. Quit worrying so much of that, what they're thinking, all their tendencies. Quit trying to look for all of these, super duper intense tendencies. I see a lot of people who overestimate their opponents all the time, and it's crazy when I'm talking to them and they will tell me, they think their opponent's able to do this or that, and honestly, it's just not that deep always. Now, sometimes it definitely is, and you can definitely pick up on tendencies that opponents have, but they're not as complex and in-depth as you might first think they really are. Alright guys, so that's gonna be number 4. Number 5 on the list is going to be another answer that you guys just aren't going to be very, very happy to hear, but for the love of God, please have a good team when you go into weekend. You guys need to be playing with at least a 96 overall, and that's at the bare minimum almost, to really be able to expect to do decent. And honestly, decent's around, I would say about 14 to 15 wins is when you get into that decent range, you know what I mean? You're getting over 500, but you guys gotta have at least a 96 overall team, I'd say. And you might be able to wiggle, that might have a little bit of wiggle room a little bit here and there, but seriously, like, there's just such a huge gap when it comes to different overalls, when it comes to your team, that a 94 overall team trying to compete with one of these 98 overall god squads, it's damn near impossible to be able to compete with them, especially on a consistent basis, with which weekend league is. You're going to be playing a lot of these super god squads who are 97, 98, 99 overalls, and you have to be able to match them position for position, or else somewhere you're going to see it very much hurt you. Now, it might be at wide receiver, it might be on your O-line or D-line, it might be at corner, safety, linebacker, quarterback. It's somewhere, I promise you, especially with these higher overall teams. they're naturally going to have more abilities than you because there's a good chance they have a couple 99 overall players, which means they have 1 or 2 or even 3 more abilities than you on each side of the ball, which means they could have a total of 6 more abilities more than you, which is an insane amount, guys. So make sure you have a good team when you go into weekend league, or at least if you don't have a good team, guys, just scale back your expectations. Scale back to about 12, 13 wins a weekend league. And honestly, if you're getting less than that right now, just set a little goal of yourself of getting 1 more this weekend. That's my honest suggestion if you guys just don't have the funds or the time to be able to grind a team to get up to that God Squad level. But that is going to wrap up number 5. Make sure you have a good team, guys. Alright guys, so that is going to wrap up that video from me. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the little bell icon to get notified as soon as we upload. Now, a big shout out to everybody who's made it to this part of the video, and if you are still here, I want you to go right down into the comment section below and comment the words #CivWave. So not the word hashtag, but the symbol, obviously. #CivWave. Let me know that you're still here, that you're still rocking with me this far into the video. I have a ton of appreciation for you guys, and I'll see you guys all next video.